The final third.
I think Pepe's so comfortable.
Why? You should be in
Just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you out. We build you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You're facing charges.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Final Third. You have Jules, we have Lavish over there, and Banks.
I just see Julie's name on the stream.
Yeah, I just saw it now.
Run the Emirates! I'm beating them up, running them up, burning the whole place down. Anyways, I don't know which game to start with.
Start where you want to start.
Seeing as the last game, let's start with Arsenal, innit?
Ooh.
You gotta start where you gotta start.
Let's work backwards. Let's start from Arsenal and Arsenal versus Chelsea. We lost 2-0 at the Emirates. Lavish, give us a rundown.
A rundown of the game. Just quickly, we just picked up where we left off after Brentford. We started. No,
I've never seen someone use that phrase in such a negative way.
Picked up where we left off.
No, we picked up where we left off after the Brentford game. I feel like we just carried on in the same stride, and it was good to see that level of consistency. In terms of I could say the best two players on the pitch were Lokonga and Smith Rowe. But I just feel
like two that came out with any sort of praise or any sort of.
Pardon?
You could be happy. I said those are the only two that came out with any sort of praise.
Yeah, just like the first game. But the mainstream media are hell bent on saying Tierney played well in the first game. But I feel like he tried, but he was not good. Just like this game as well.
Let's talk about Tierney's brittleness, because this is something else now. How do you come off injured like that?
I'm just confused.
I feel like Tierney, Martinelli, these are people that just are brittle and just they are what they are. They are what they are at this point. And I feel like I'm just scared that Thomas Partey might fall into the same bracket if he gets injured again. So I hope not. But
on par he basically is, because they've all been injured the same amount of times. They're like three times now or something.
Anyway, Jules, listen.
They're all in the same bracket.
Let's leave the hospital alone. Let's move from the hospital. Let's get back on the pitch, and let's talk about how Chelsea dealt with us. Because I feel like, just like Brentford, I don't think Chelsea got out of first gear. Well, Brentford got to third gear, but Chelsea went first and second gear.
Chelsea didn't get out.
It was so comfortable. I've not seen a footballing display from a striker, and such an isolated display from a striker and a centre back. It felt a bit like a basketball match. You know, we always say no cross-sport analysis, but this felt very basketball-esque, as in like, okay, Mari and Lukaku, let's go one-on-one each time, because it's like every time Lukaku wanted the ball in feet, Mari would just try and get touch tight with him. And literally, Lukaku advertised himself with Jamie Carragher wearing an Everton shirt, saying on Sky Sports a couple years ago, saying, listen, Lukaku literally said, if I pin you up, Jamie, and I roll you, it's curtains. He told the world. Pablo Mari said, you know what, let me have a go at this. Let me get a toke.
And you lot have the most embarrassing set of centre-backs I've ever seen, because
Pablo Mari living a dream.
Why are you getting bullied like that? Why are you getting bullied like that?
Pablo Mari living a dream. I feel like he got twisted up. He got twisted up so many times. It was unbearable to watch. I felt like Lokonga is just he's a proper good player. I like the look of him. But he was playing midfield on his own. Playing midfield alone. It was blue. Xhaka played well in the first 5 minutes and got a head injury, and then I can't remember seeing him for the rest of the game. That was it. He did a couple interceptions. The ball hit his head, and then that was it. Saka was bad. Saka was very, very bad. Martinelli, I don't know about Martinelli. I feel like he played bad, but these injuries, he just looks a shadow of what he was before that serious injury, the long injury. I don't know, man. And then Arteta as well, just to round it all off. I know Arteta's gonna come out and just like say blame COVID, blame.
What kills me about Arteta though? Should I tell you what? They pan the camera to Arteta, and he always looks as if he's in the deepest of thoughts. Like they'll pan the camera to him and be doing like.
He's not. There's nothing you're clearly thinking about, because you showed your ass when you went to Brighton and you came back without Basuma. So I'm never gonna let that go. So you don't think. So stop trying to pull the curtains over. You don't think about anything.
Don't think.
So all this type of all looking in deep thought. But that's on a Chelsea point of view, they didn't really like they played well and they were professional, but they weren't tested at all.
It was a professional performance. They got their goals early, and then it was just a case of seeing out the rest of the game.
I'm just being respectful. They were just respectful because it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Mount on that left hand side up against the set. I remember a couple of times he done up the centre back. That it was just a very professional performance from the Chelsea. From the Kante was on the bench as well. Didn't even have Kante on the pitch, and it was a stroll in the park. It was a stroll in the park. That's the spooky bit about it. Pros only TV saying Lukaku bullying Murray like Drogba did to Sagan. Hey, Murray wishes he could have the Arsenal legacy of Sagan. He wishes.
He wishes.
He wishes he could reach that level. Wishes he could reach that level. But it was just it was so easy. Like usually, Chelsea at the Emirates for Arsenal is a game where they're not gonna lose it being so perfect. That like it's not gonna be a perfect performance like that. Like, usually Arsenal put up some sort of resistance or some sort of performance against Chelsea at the Emirates. But today it was just like after the first 5 minutes, I think there was a one drive and run from Smith Rowe in the first 5 minutes. And that first 5 minutes, he was kind of looking on top. But apart from that, it was so easy for Chelsea that you lot didn't put any pressure on them. Even after the first goal, you needed to show a reaction. You didn't really get a reaction from them. It wasn't a good. If this is what Arteta is gonna show, because the fans are back in the stadium now.
Arteta,
how long can he really put up with those these performances with fans in the stadium?
I'm not mad. I'm mad at Arteta. Everyone knows that. I'm mad at the players, but I'm even more mad at just the mainstream media and the media puppets built on Twitter and on TV that will hell-bent on telling us as fans that it's a process, it's a project, these are for the future. It's the most ludicrous thing. You would think Arsenal are the only team to ever go through a transitional period. You think Arsenal are the only team to ever try and bolster a squad. You think Arsenal are the only team to ever have injuries. It's pathetic because you're saying you're signing 21, 22, 23-year-olds that are prospects that are for the future. But in what world do you say you're signing this crop of players for like the next 5 years and you think they're all going to be there in 5 years? And the senior players they are not strong enough to bed them in. So they're coming in and they're on rocky foundation.
They're be the man.
They're on rocky foundations because they're coming in off their own level, not getting coached well enough to necessarily improve. And what's around them in the senior players, they're becoming the senior players. It's crazy to me. Right. And then the fact that you have to sign second string players is madness. You just sign first team players, and the second string players, the old first team players, become the second string players. That's what happens.
That's how it always is.
I've never seen like Chelsea very rarely. Okay, Emerson is who I can think they did that with. Everybody else, they just signed someone. Emerson, who'd you say? Zappa Costa. Yeah, those are the only two I can really think of. But everybody else, they just signed a better player. And if you were playing first team before, you just drop down or you match the level. That's how you bolster a squad. That's legit how you bolster. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. You spent 140 million and nothing's improved. You can't tell me because Ben White is okay. People say ball playing, but I'm more comfortable with Rob Holding there. Me personally, I'm more comfortable with Rob Holding there.
You're more comfortable with Rob Holding as your starting centre back or as your
yeah.
Right, because Rob Holding was absolutely bollocks today as well. So
no, he wasn't bollocks. He wasn't bollocks. It was better than Pablo Mari. I get that.
This is how I'm saying. The standard is crazy. Big up Jose CFC in the building. He says, big up the panel, smash the like button. You heard him. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're smashing the like button, all of that good stuff.
One thing we love about Banks, he always gets that promo in. That's what we love. That's why we keep him in.
Always.
What, for the promo?
Yeah. Keep it for the promo.
Moving on, there's a lot of debates about James and Lukaku link up. Today they played extremely well together. James was literally singled out for the whole game. Like we could have. I'm pretty sure we were lucky to get 2-0. We probably could have got at least 4. What do we think about them as a pair in the season?
You know what?
Good, but I don't know if it's always going to be like that. But yeah,
I was more interested to see Kai Havertz and Lukaku. But yeah, Reece James and Lukaku. I feel like we just made it easy for them. But for the
Yeah.
future, I would love to see that link up. I would love to see that because it's weird. It's a bit like was it Aspilicueta and Diego Costa
yeah,
that had a weird like right back
No,
and
it
centre
was
forward,
Aspilicueta and Morata. It was
and
Aspilicueta and Morata.
Morata that had a weird like right back and up front connection. But yeah, running from the grind,
Yeah,
running from it,
we can't skip that. We can't skip that.
running.
They were telling. They were
The
trying to
lads were
tell me
right.
Ben White was at the toilet this morning. Like, yeah, I
got diarrhea.
Hey,
You know the good old diarrhea, the diarrhea excuse. We've all
yeah,
used it
boss,
in
I got,
retail.
I got
We've
diarrhea. I
all
can't
used
come in
it.
today, man.
Yeah,
I can't
gaffer,
come
what's
in
up? If you tell your gaffer it's a migraine, it's calm. But if you say you got the runs, he'll be like, oh, it's all right. You know what? That's 48. Because you know the 48 hour by law, 48 hours. He said he got the runs this morning.
running from the grind.
Wanted
Fam.
no part of it.
He did not want that Lukaku beef. Did not want it. I hear
Yeah,
it,
but
man. I hear it.
yeah, but that connection there, I think it'll be quite pivotal because I think Anita tweeted something like, "Oh, Reece James said to Tuchel, never bench me again." By the way he played, I think it was quite funny. I feel like their link up was very, very good, but I can't personally say that I could specifically say Reece James and Lukaku today were outstanding as a pair because Lukaku pinned off, brought so many players into the game. Personally,
Every
so,
time, hold off the defender, lay it off. That was cash money today. Because
it was a banker.
if your centre backs can't get close to you, lay it off, bring everybody else into play, get yourself into the box. That's how he got his first. That's how he got his first goal. Hold off the defender, lay it off. It goes wide. You get into the box. Cash money, just like that.
I bet my cousin a $5 because we got West Brom in it. We got West Brom midweek. I bet him. We're going to the Hawthorns. We're going Hawthorns, and I told him we're not.
No, bro, man, making nasty for you.
I said we are not winning that game. We just put a cheeky $5 on it, in it. $5 that I will. Yeah, 5. So I've got £5.
We need man from South in this team that aren't afraid to stick it on you and get into scraps where needed. Yeah, you lot are nice guys, man. You don't want beef.
Good use.
Nice guys.
Looking on formation wise, would it have worked better if Arteta matched the formation? Because I think he played a 4 at the back.
He was going to play a 3. Apparently, he was going to play a 3 and try to match Chelsea. Thank God he didn't. It would have been worse. It would have been much worse. Yeah, it would have been much worse. It would have been much worse.
Yeah.
When you play a 3, you play it because maybe you're not strong defensively or you've got a lot of choices at centre-back position. We don't have the two. We're not good defensively, but even if you put more bodies there, it'll just cause more confusion. I feel so. And then we'll just get pammed in that pocket there. It would have been sad. It would have been sad. So I feel like a 2-0. I'll take a 2-0 loss. I'll take it. I won't play it again. I won't play it again.
Oh shit.
I mean, when you play that 3 at the back, when you match it, it's usually a bit more of a stalemate where it's harder to break down the opposite team if they're matching your formation, especially with 3 at the back. So, I mean, if you went 3 at the back, maybe, but again, it felt like one of those games where it doesn't matter what you did.
You're out of your depth. You're out of your depth. Arsenal are out of their depth today, and it's scary because we are not saying that about Brentford because it's Brentford, but Arsenal are out of their depth against Brentford. They had a good 25-minute spell, but after that, they weren't able to come back from a 1-0 or 2-0. It was done. So yeah, I don't see us scoring.
Obviously, Chelsea fans like to say now they've got a proper striker. Which do you prefer, Lukaku and Havertz or Lukaku and Werner? I mean, I think we had this debate last week on the Gold Diggers, and some people were saying that Lukaku and Werner would never work. But he did.
That's a good discussion. That's a very good discussion.
Minutes, and he did. It looked okay to me anyway. But which would you prefer, Lukaku and Havertz or Lukaku and Werner?
That's a very good question.
So you want to go first? You can go first if you want.
I don't know because who's about okay. I was going to ask a question. Who's going to be on the other side? But whatever. Let's just veto that.
Let's imagine it's a 2 up top.
Yeah.
If it's a 2 up top, I think I'll prefer Lukaku. because the thing is, Havertz, he drifts. He's actually like very, very good, but he can drift just like he can drift into games. He can drift out of games.
Like
So especially
he'll be on it for like 20, 25 minutes, and then
25 minutes, and it has to happen then. It has to happen then when he's on it.
Yeah,
But
if it doesn't
when it's
happen then,
always in the game.
he's not in the game no more.
The thing is, and also Havertz is very difficult to mark out of a game. I feel like because he drifts, like he just floats, especially in the Euros. If you watch him in the Euros, he's picking up such random pockets within the pitch that for you to do a job on him, it has to be the Herrera Hazard thing where you're following him around the pitch, which is almost, we never see that. So it's like you always be able to find him, but he drifts out of games. Whereas Werner, he's always running off. He's always gone. He's always an option away from the ball, and he could stretch the pitch. But Lukaku can do both assets of the game, like bring people into play and stretch the pitch as well. For me, I'll take Werner. I'll take Werner still.
For me, as you said, Werner. If you play Lukaku and Werner, you got that. Werner, Werner's trying to get in behind every time, but at the same time, Werner's not a footballer. Like you're handicapping yourself when you put Werner on your pitch. So for me, it has to be Lukaku and Havertz. Like Werner, if he gets that chance, you feel like he's gonna flop it anyway. And as your striker, you don't need that feeling. Like if that's your striker, you don't need that feeling. If he gets a chance, you feel like he's gonna flop it. Yes, he's gonna offer the running in behind, all of that, but it's Werner. Like we've seen Werner play for Chelsea, and it's just the case where you're never confident he's gonna bury his chance. And you've got Lukaku in that team. Like if you're playing with Havertz, you've got that other side where Havertz is gonna be the one to drop deep, and then you can ask Lukaku to be the one to stretch the pitch. Yeah. It's not 100% his best. The best side of his game, but at the same time, he can do it. Like he's ready to make those runs in behind. It's not like Werner where he constantly wants to make them every time. But he's good enough to make those runs, know when to make those runs. So if you have Havertz dropping deep, Lukaku making those runs, I feel like that's the better partnership than Lukaku and Werner doing it.
Interesting.
I don't even want to put. I won't even put that comment on the thing.
Wow. We do not promote that on this channel. Quickly, individual stand-up performances from both teams. So your stand-up performance from Chelsea and Arsenal. I mean, I know we only have like two, but
Yeah, I'll go Smith Rowe for Arsenal, and then for Chelsea, I'll go Rudiger.
Okay. Yeah, Rudiger was good. It was good today.
That was good.
Rudiger was good.
Yeah, Rudiger. Jorginho, you lot couldn't get close. It's so funny because
don't say we couldn't get close to Jorginho.
You're going to get close to Jorginho, but
he was normal.
That's not even the point I wanted to make. That's not even the point.
Oh my god!
I remember against against Brentford last week, there was that video of Xhaka getting caught after Leno passes to him in front of just ahead of Jorginho literally received that same pass tens of times that
he receives it. I feel like he just trade.
And he literally never gets caught on it. That's the difference between having a Xhaka.
You know what upsets me, Julie, sometimes is that when it's like the whole Arsenal fan base is not in unison. I feel like it's so clear cut what's wrong. That's what upsets me. And then it's just one fool would say trust the process, or another person would say we're impatient, or another person would try to prove to us why these are good signings and they're good enough players. But anyway, let's go to these lots playing. Challengers.
Moving on to Southampton versus United. 1-1 draw. Thanks. A rundown of that game. What was your takes from that game?
Where I said last week that it's only one game. It's only one game. You can't get ahead of yourself. And after watching the match, this isn't the sort of match that you can afford to lose if you want to be challenging for anything. It's saying like Southampton away. It's not the easiest match, but at the same time, you don't. Nathan says, "How did the Harlem Spartans Zoran Tosic do?" I'm assuming
so many different nicknames, and they always start with Harlem.
Hey, it's gonna be a long season for Sancho if they're doing him like this. It's gonna be a long season for Sancho. But yeah. Again, we swapped out McTominay for Matic and put Martial back into the team, and it just wasn't a great start to the match. That first half, I say the first 10-15 minutes we probably should have went ahead. We had chances that on another day maybe they go in, but again after that we didn't do enough to put them away. They scored the first goal, and then after that we're a bit rattled. So again, it's just we should be putting them away. The first 10-15 minutes where we had those chances, we gotta put them away. We gotta put them to sleep there.
I feel like the issue with you today was just it's one of those games that you're gonna look back at and feel like, okay, like it's very forgettable. It's very forgettable. It's not something to cause. It's not anything for panic. But I just do find humor. I do find humor in the very reactionary Man United fans that start crying out for we need a new this or the Glazers out or Oli out, because that trended a little bit today. And it's just like you had the chances, you just had to finish your dinner. And yeah, if you play that match again, you win. But it's just one of those games. It's the Barclays. It's literally that's just the Barclays.
It's not one of those games. It's not a game where you get.
I'm proper upset though at Bruno.
It's not a game you get proper. At the same time, you win those games if you want to be serious about anything. You win those games. You don't let Southampton away trick you into thinking, oh yeah, a point at Southampton is good enough. Those are the sort of games you win if you want to be serious.
How'd you go from 9-0 to 1-1?
Yeah, it's a big jump. They're calling him Ian wrong. They're still calling him Ian wrong. Yeah, how did your boy, is Martial FC, is that fully disbanded? Is that in administration now? I was just gonna ask because a lot of Martial FC lot, I can't find them anymore. I'm like, are you not there? I've been knocking on the HQ over the last 12 months. They've been saying this because it's Corona, everybody's working from home, no one's in the head office of Martial FC, but no one's opening the door because everyone's gone back to work, gone back to the office. But Martial FC, did you guys get rid of HQ? You didn't renew the lease? What's going on in the HQ of Martial FC? Man. Where's everyone gone?
It wasn't supposed to end this way, I promise you.
Did you, Will Smith? Where's everyone gone? Where's everyone gone?
Because it wasn't supposed to end this way, man.
Literally, from like the protege of Thierry Henry to Ian Wrong, everyone's so confused as to what happened to this boy.
But what annoys me,
when the gloves come on, all that stuff, and
what annoys me is the fact that we played well last week with Mason Greenwood up front, and then you switch him out to the right to accommodate Martial, who's coming back from an injury and hasn't had the best form anyway. Why don't you keep Greenwood up front where he's been banging, let him do his thing, rather than trying to force Martial back into the team? That's what.
He's at the wheel. Never disrupt the driver. Ollie's at the wheel.
Ollie's at the wheel. Just have to believe it.
Yeah, Ollie's at the wheel and don't disrupt the driver. That's what the mainstream media as well would tell us. Like, yeah, look how Man United's given Ollie a chance. Look how he's turned them around. He's turned you lot around. So believe it. I feel like once you just go again next week. I think you got Wolves next week. You go again next week. And that's it simply. I don't think there's anything there like you didn't do anything. You didn't win, but there's nothing specifically of you did get dominated in some parts of the field. But it's
Livramento, serious.
Tino.
He's serious.
All due respect, it shocked me when he opened his mouth and he's like, yeah, so basically I was expecting him to be Italian, but I think he's probably got parents from Italy.
Hey, he beefs Fred off the ball. He's gonna Chelsea's 100% activating that buyback clause. 100.
Oh,
right.
Chelsea gonna bring him back to the bridge so calmly. 18 years old. 18.
No. Southampton always get it right when it comes to recruitment. They never miss a beat.
They got robbed way too easily. Individual performances for United: Bruno, Pogba, Greenwood, etc. Good and bad.
Bruno Anonymous, he didn't do nothing.
Bruno upset me because I bet on him this week. I proper bet on him.
People were upset for him today. Like so many people.
Yeah, because we're all there waiting.
Losing money on
week 2. FPL. FPL triple captain, cool. Bet.
Tried to triple cap. So you captained him last week and you said, yeah, he's gonna do a madness again. Let me
I
triple
said, yeah,
captain.
it's a banker. 9-0 last time. To be fair, I thought it was at OT, but I found out it was at St. Mary's after kickoff. Like, oh, damn it. Then I was like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But
Bruno,
yeah, no, Bruno was anonymous. Pogba, once again, one of the better players on the field, if anyone.
Yeah.
And Greenwood, happy for the boy, man. Happy for the boy.
Mace, decent for like keeper probably on another day saves that, but again, they all count. So Greenwood was all
Secondly,
right.
just for the fans and for the viewers, for the future, Mace is Mason Mount. Greenwood is Greenwood. Stop calling him Mace.
What?
Huh?
What? Mace is
Mason-
Mace. Mace
Mace
is
is
Mace is Mace is my gun.
Mason,
Mace
Mace,
can get
Mace,
whatever name he
Mace,
wants.
Mace is Mason Mount.
Mace,
No.
Don't disrespect Mount. Don't disrespect Mount.
Money Mace.
Mount is Jason.
There's only one Money Mace, by the way, as well. 'Cause
Literally.
All right.
y'all two teams like to clash. There's only one Money Mace. Can you guys
It's
stop
right.
doing this?
We'll take Murder Mace. He's Murder Mace.
You just take Greenwood. Just take
We don't
Greenwood.
need that on this
Trevor, my
channel.
little gun driller.
No.
They're saving that for when Chaloba scores again.
Wow.
I said, Trevor,
Trevor,
get in the car.
that's the guy.
Get in the car.
Oh shit,
Get in.
It does get me there.
brother.
Nah. Who was the other? You said so we
It's
done
them three.
Bruno.
Them three, the main men.
Just go through like whoever good, bad, even for Southampton. Like
Wan
Any
Bissaka.
Armstrong's are runners. The
Fullback-
new signing
fullback
Armstrong is just he literally just runs, gets up and down that pitch. Doesn't run out of energy. He's on the Red Bull.
Yeah.
But he should
Kind
be
of.
finishing his dinner. He should be finishing that one-on-one.
Yeah.
Should
Had
be
a- had a
finishing
big
him.
chance. Yeah, he should have finished that. Who else was good? Liver.
The hair, Flappy Bird.
Fuck it. Oh, what was his name? Stevens and Bednar. No, it wasn't even Bednarek. I can't remember who else was at centre back. But
Steven and
it was-
Salisu.
Salisu, that's it. Salisu was massive. Massive. Centre back, yeah. Southampton centre backs were really good. That's it. I don't think Southampton played great, but at the same time, they did maybe just enough to earn a point. I thought once we put the goal in the second half, we'd go on to
You'd kick
win.
on and win. That's what I thought as well.
Yeah,
Like, it was
I
inevitable for you
literally-
to kick on and win. But
we didn't do enough. We ended up
murder she wrote, I
worse.
guess.
As soon as we
Barclays.
made the subs, it got worse.
Barclays.
That's what's mad. Because we wasn't even playing great before that.
let's go over to Anfield, Liverpool.
Cologne, all of that shit.
I didn't watch the game because obviously, unfortunately, I was at somewhere. So run down of the game.
Julio's
what?
day
Liverpool, we're just gonna have to give Liverpool their credit because they don't care.
Bro, don't do that.
Liverpool don't want us to talk about them. They want us to give the appreciation to their young boy because everyone's been having young balls recently, but they've had to try to squeeze Curtis Jones into the front. But now they've got a respectable candidate. Harvey Elliott, step up and come get your flowers. I feel like he was fantastic. He was fantastic in the game. I feel like he was some of the touches and just like proper confident. He just didn't look 18. Firstly, that's one of the first things to notice how good a young player is if they don't look their age. And he didn't look his age once on that pitch. Obviously, Salah's offside, disallowed goal, but the pass he put through was clean. He was doing some comfortable, some grown man touches on the pitch. Grown man touches. Even when there was a time I think he got dispossessed on the edge of the box and it nearly amounted to a goal. The tackle was quite strong on him, and fair enough, he shouldn't have dwindled on it. But still, to be able to be just that confident on the ball at 18 in his first like senior debut, I feel like they've got a good player in their hands. They've got a very good player in their hands, and so that's all he's getting from me. Though I think I did him justice.
I'd go along with that. Harvey Elliott, full debut for Liverpool, and it was a good performance from him. I feel like he faded a bit in and out at certain points, but I feel like that's just the intensity of the Premier League that he's got to get used to. But for an 18-year-old to come in, he never he was always looking composed on the ball. He'd get the ball and he'd try and do something positive. And as an 18-year-old coming in and trying to, I'm playing against a team like Burnley, where if you're gonna win, you need to constantly be looking to unlock and do something positive. It was a very good performance from him, playing in the central midfield as well. For Blackburn, I know he played a lot more time further forward. It wasn't really centre mid that he was playing, but for Liverpool,
high up the pitch.
and this is a good thing on Klopp as well, because it's a move away from the centre midfielders that he usually plays with. Like, usually he likes the workhorses in midfield. He never really goes for a glossy
More
type
technical players. Yeah.
So it was interesting to see that from Klopp as well. But yeah, for your full debut, Harvey Elliott really impressed. I can't lie. Mane is getting back to the sort of form that we saw in 2018, 2019, 2020. We all know that he had a down year last year, but he's starting to look a bit more electric, a bit more on job. So yeah, Liverpool.
I feel Sam says Manchester has an over-dependence on Bruno, unlike Liverpool, where if Salah fails, Mane delivers. Well, unlike last season, that is right for every other season, but last season that fell flat.
Yeah.
But I agree. I agree in the over-dependence on Bruno, but hey, enough of the Man United segment. But yeah, let me give Thingy a shout out as well, Tsimikas as well. I feel like they've not really
lovely whip for Jota as well.
Yeah, Tsimikas, in the 2 games he's played, they've not, even though it was against Norwich and Burnley, Robertson is a big miss. And there's a very big boots to fill in. And I feel like he's done well. He's a very good, steady, sure, very, very good replacement for Robertson when Robertson is out of the team. So credit to him as well for filling them boots well. Yeah. But aside that, very professional performance from Liverpool. Very, very professional performance.
Yeah. Calm performance. Burnley at home is one of those ones where get the early goal and then you're eating, because Burnley aren't gonna be out here trying to push hella guys up, and
I want to make it ugly, but just pick them off.
Moving on to our final game, Wolves versus Tottenham. Nuno went back to Molineux.
Yeah,
1-0.
Tricky little 1-0. For previous seasons, West Midland's been difficult to go to. But this season now, you just feel like with Nuno gone, Jimenez back from a very serious injury, and just some senior pieces missing. Well, not some, but some. Well, Patricia's left as well, and just a bit more changes than usual at Wolves now. I feel like they've lost their bite. Obviously, it's just been 2 games. They've lost 2 as well, but they've lost their. You feel like they've lost their bite in that. The main question on whether Wolves does well for me is how well do their wingers do. Pedro Neto, we spoke about him when we did the under 21s and how he's a good prospect, and he lit the season. He lit last season alight. Set last season alight at the start, and then he dwindled off. But he has to really come into it this season, and he has to fill in big shoulders. I think he'll be 22.
Is the injury? He's still out injured, of course. He's still out injured.
And then Podence as well when he comes up. But really and truly, where I'm going to with this is we expect it now from Amad Traore. We expect it now. We really do expect it now. We're tired of everyone saying that, you do everything until it gets well, until the final third way plug. But we're really now expecting you now to really get it together and tie your shoelaces up. Just get polished, if you know what I mean. Because
the first 2
more
games,
often than not, he rips and then the ball gets into the box and it's either behind everyone, or it's either short, or it's either overhit, or it's either off target completely. And it's just like, my guy, we're working with scraps anyway, so you have to be quite precise. So
the first 2 games that he's had, I know against in the Leicester game, missed a clear one-on-one where.
This one too, he's missed a clear one-on-one. It's almost it's the exact same chance. Acres of space, one-on-one running through on goal, and you've literally not picked a corner. You've not really I think the Leicester one, I think he went wide of the post.
Yeah, it was wide of the post. If I'm wrong.
This one he didn't pick a corner, and you're just looking at him like, Traore, you've really got. And he's probably going to be shot of confidence, but what a lot of people He's going to be shot of confidence because he's not young, but people think he's a lot older than he is. He's 24, I think. He's going to be 25, but he's got to
been around
start.
for a second.
Yeah, but because he's been around for so long, but he's got to really start. He's got to really start hitting the back of the net or contributing in assists. Just fine tune, just crossing the T's and dotting the I's and fine tuning the rest of his game because everything outside the box is fine. Do you get? And that's the difference between him and Maximan. Maximan has a lot less to work with over there at Newcastle, and he's a lot more skillful. Traore is a lot more direct, but how does that make sense that you're more direct but you're more off target? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're more towards the goal and you're more of a bullet speed train, you're more of a speed demon, but it's all over the place. I think Tim Sherwood hit the nail on the head in that he needs to slow down his brain, which it kind of sounded quite patronizing and insulting, but I think he was right in that everything happens because he's so fast and aesthetically strong and everything happens at a very high speed for him that sometimes he's not coherent with what he wants to do.
Sam makes a good point. He says Adamo was untouchable. He missed the 1v1, but the guy deserves praise for being a standout player. That's the difficult thing when you're playing for a team that isn't have the best players or creating loads of chances. When you miss those sort of chances, it just sticks out even more. Like you're 100% right. When you're the main guy and you're the one that they're going to try to create all the chances, it looks it's a high workload that he's got to work with. It's all
it's
on his
actually
shoulders.
Crazy. If you compare Adama Traore and Mohamed Salah, it's polar opposites. I've just deeped it out. It's complete polar opposites. Salah in the first season, obviously he missed a lot, but he scored as much as he missed. But he scored a lot and did nothing outside the box. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Traore does everything like well outside the box, and then he gets to the end, the final third of the game, awful. That's crazy. So, but Sam, yeah, you're right. He does deserve his praise, and that's for Tottenham.
If you want to take that step to the next level, it's the case of you've got to do that and then go and finish your dinners as well. You've got to do both things. So, as Shem said, like he's 24, 10, and 25. They kind of need him to step up and be the main.
You're now
man
you're getting to the prime. You're supposed to be peaking now, kind of like going to the top. Well, as for Spurs,
sorry, yeah, literally just saying Pedro Neto out, Podence out is a case where you've got to kind of be the guy. You're the guy we're looking to. Raul Jimenez coming back after a long layoff. He's still trying to.
You can't expect him. He had a very serious, life-threatening injury. So like life-threatening, not breaking bones, it's life and death. So it's got to be you right now for the time being. Well done, Neves as well. He had a good game. Ruben Neves had a very good game. But as for Spurs, on the Spurs front, without Harry Kane, obviously Harry Kane coming into the final stages of the game, I was shocked to see Ali take the penalty. I thought it would be Son. I know that messed up a lot of people's FPLs because they probably thought Son was the penalty taker when Harry Kane's not there. So Bamidele put in bottom bins. Well done on him. With Spurs, it's just like, by the way, Tanganga got twist up. People saying that he's a fantastic right back. Got twist up by Traore this week. Twist up. But just Spurs as a whole, the main talking point from them is well done professional performance. Well done Nuno getting a result at Molineux. It's somewhere they've struggled with in previous seasons. I remember a 3-3, I think. I remember them losing at one point. Thoughts on Lloris, who has been on top of the game even against City. Listen, Sam, maybe you're a new listener, but on this platform, when it comes to Hugo Lloris, before I judge him, I give him 7 games because Hugo Lloris is like a when you buy something and you have like a 14-day window to return. He's 7 games, 7 straight games before he has a blunder. So after game 7, if he still is consistent, then he gets his praise. But for me, I've seen it all before. He's consistently like inconsistent, but you know what you're going to get. You're going to get good 7 games, a blunder, then a good 7 games, a blunder, maybe a back-to-back blunder, then a good 7 games. So like, a bit like when Lovren can't play 5 games on the bounce without getting injured. But anyway, Spurs as a whole, well done Harry Kane for getting on the pitch and nearly scored as well. But it's just
well done
flat.
For doing it.
Yeah, it's just flat. It's just flat. I sound like Gary Neville, innit? He's a saint. It's just flat. It's just flat, man. It's just flat over there. But well done. That's for 6 points. 2 wins and 2.
6 pints. Guys, if you're locked in, make sure you're hitting the like button, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, make
Smash
sure
the button.
literally smash. Oh, I even said smash it. Oh,
Shout out to Terry for that, man. Shout out to Terry and KJ for that, man.
Smash.
Really do the needful. You know we do this now. We're trying to promote this, Don.
Oh wait, this is FPL.
Yeah, FPL stuff.
When are you gonna tell us this? I don't know about this.
So you didn't. So you
First
weren't in last.
position.
You showing your ass.
First position, Dynamo FC, 72
Where was that last
points,
week?
166 in total. This is prior to
Grant,
West Ham.
make that tick. Grant, make that tick. Make that tick. Make it rotate on the screen. I don't know how you young kids do
You're
that
just
nowadays.
fresh. You're actually just fresh.
Wow.
Make that thing roll. Make that thing roll. But yeah,
Yes.
make that thing roll. Make it roll, man. Make it move.
Make it move. Tick.
Make it move. It's called a ticker.
Yeah, but you click on it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what it was on. Now do it. FPL.
Yeah, so in first position, Dynamo FC, 72 points this week so far. This is prior to West Ham versus Leicester, 166 in total. Hey, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. You got to beat Dynamo FC right now. Big up Gilbert. So
Gilbert,
make
big up Gilbert. And here's the thing, like we said, obviously you're getting a prize halfway through to keep people playing, because we're trying to actively get people playing on the FPL, keep them engaged in the game. So what we're going to do, as always, we're going to reveal his team.
Show the team.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to reveal his team, as always. Gilbert's got a 3-5-2. He's got a 3-5-2 and he's got 73. Oh, 73, they've changed it again. Change that on the ticker, Banks. 73 points.
73.
They're still updating it. So he had Sanchez in the back from Brighton, the goalkeeper. Then he had a back three of Ruben Diaz, Trent, and Tsimikas, who had 12, 11, and 11, respectively. Hella clean sheets. His midfield, he had Dallas, Gundogan. Fernandez was his captain with 2 points, shut the bed. Salah as well, shut the bed with 3 points. And Greenwood with 10 points. Big up him. He had Mupai. Mupai, you're a cheat. He had Mupai, Neil Mapai, 6 points. And then he had Danny Ings up top. Well done to him. Well done, Gilbert, man. So everyone, try copy his team. If you think he's going to be good next week, I doubt it because the team sounds shit. But well done to him.
Raw, man. No need for that.
I'm a hater. I'm a hater. Oh, yeah, no, I played bad this week. Wow. Anyway, I need big from Harvey Barnes and Kelechi tomorrow. Come again?
I've got 15
Come again?
points this week.
Everyone's checking the FPL. Hello, people are listening to you, bruv. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, I just realized I'm not.
Should I keep him for 7 games? Wait, Lloris is your F. I'm crying.
Wow.
Lloris is your. But he's got. Yeah, I told you, you're gonna get the clean sheets. You're gonna get the clean sheets. You're gonna get the clean sheets with him. Just once you get into like a little game 6 or game 7, be ready to give him the boot. Yeah, man. Man said, would I consider bringing Robertson into the team? If you want an FPL special, that's a £5. Put £5 in the. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't put Robertson in your team yet. Don't put Robertson in your team. The first game's against Chelsea. Even though Robertson's going to be fit for his next game, they're playing Chelsea. So don't just bed him in. Bed him in. Once you see someone's playing in Norwich, yeah, or they're playing like a little
Southampton.
Burnley,
Yeah.
Southampton, and
let Liverpool face Southampton. That's cash money. That's when you put in Robertson.
That's cash money. That's triple captain Salah then. But yeah, Jules, take us home, man.
Thank you guys.
Gambling on the Lord's Day, yes.
Or on the Lord's Day. So what you talking about?
Word. All right, Jules. Next week we've got to announce for them. This is gonna be like the pod is gonna whatever this is gonna be hanging because man them are gonna be. It's bank holiday weekend. Certain people are getting on the piss. I don't drink. I literally don't drink.
I'm not gonna be hanging because
sunglasses on the video, like yeah, literally. What you saying, man? Hoodie tied up. Yeah, woo! Cool.
That is gonna be me because I'm partying for 2 days straight.
Gang shit.
Yeah. Can't say why.
Julie, where can the fans find you?
My at is on the screen. Oh, what?
I'm crying. What dance?
If you don't want to do your meet and greet with Jules, find that deal.
Well, if you've got a VIP buddy, I will be in VIP at DLT. How about it?
Hey, you heard that. You heard that. Said
Do not over here.
baby.
We have
Fair
VIP.
enough.
VIP, baby.
If Unbreakable had VIP, I'll be there too, but they don't. So you still gonna catch me at Unbreakable and then at DLT.
Fair enough.
Catch Jules at your meet and greet at the Unbreakable and DLT next week.
Lap dancing with Rem at DLT. This is what we love to see.
Nathan says, Banks, your trim is dusted. Hey, Nathan, you gotta stop being a hater. Look at this trim. Do you see the way it melts? You see the way it melts?
Oh, shit. In the trims, there's Love Island, isn't it? Because Aaron trim.
Birthday trim sucks. He just said your birthday trim sucks. Don't have it.
Nathan, the hater. Nathan, too much haterade in Nathan's juice. You know, Nathan Arsenal fan. So I know how it feels.
Basically on the birthday 25. So yeah, for a zone. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this video, our previous video. We will be back in the studio on the
damn.
29th.
You're drunk already.
On the 29th. On the 29th.
So bank holiday weekend, we'll be rolling to the studio. Make sure you watch our video that will drop on bank holiday Monday. It'll be my first time going to the studio and I can't wait. Yeah, make sure you follow our socials. Twitter, Instagram, our personal ones on the screen. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and we will see you next week.
Gang shit.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Wow, you should be
You just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you up.